توب ستوريز من وطن الكرامة.
Hello, welcome to Watan Al Karama News Channel. It is 9 p.m. our time for top stories, and we start with latest developments in the Libyan state. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi met with Parliament member Agila Saleh Guider upon his arrival in Cairo. The visit comes within the framework of supporting the Libyan Parliament and its legitimacy by the leader of the Arab countries, Egypt. An Egyptian government source stressed that Egypt's support for Parliament resolutions and its rejection of any attempts to impose foreign guardianship on Libyan sovereignty. For his part, Chancellor Guider hailed Egypt's role in supporting the Libyan institutions. Chancellor Guider, or House Parliament Speaker, today arrived in Cairo on a visit was not announced in advance. Parliament Speaker Agila Saleh Guider stressed that the House decision to reject UN envoy Bernardino Leon's government has adopted by the majority of Parliament members. Guider noted that the decision stipulated that the United Nations support mission in Libya should comply with the text of the fourth draft in the selection of the Prime Minister and his deputies, and not to choose a President of the Advisory Council of the State, a Chairman of the National Security Council, and government ministers by the mission. Guider pointed out that the Parliament dissolves the dialogue committee, stressing that alternative commission should be selected and replace the current one. Guider added that the latest draft of political dialogue will be referred to a special Parliament committee to discuss it. Parliament Deputy Nimba Sabah Goma said Parliament decision of rejecting Leon proposal was taken by clear the majority of Parliament's members. Goma stressed that Parliament announced its rejection of Leon proposals of naming the head of the National Security and Chairman of the Advisory Council because it's a violation of the Constitutional Declaration and the document signed by initials. Goma noted that the Parliament approved the immediate dissolution of a dialogue commission, stressing Parliament's commitment to continue the dialogue on the study draft and supplements provided to the Parliament. UN diplomatic sources said that German official Martin Kobler will replace the head of the UN support mission in Libya, Bernardino Leon. The sources added that Kobler is the first candidate for the presidency of the United Nations support mission in Libya after his success in the leadership of the UN mission of the Democratic Republic of Congo and his experience in the Iraqi and Afghan files. Leon's mandate ends in October 20, and this promoted him to accelerate the formation of the National Unity Government. Hundreds of people celebrated in the public square in Benghazi of Parliament decision of rejecting the United Nations proposals on forming a national unity government. The celebrants carried photos of the commander-in-chief of the Arab Libyan Armed Forces, General Khalifa Haftar. The Parliament responded to people's demands who came out to denounce the government of Leon. And about violence in Benghazi, 5 people, including 4 children, were killed and 3 others wounded by a mortar on a residential neighborhood in Liti district in Benghazi. For his part, a medical source at Al Gala Hospital in Benghazi noted that the hospital received 5 dead and 3 injured, pointed out that the victims are mostly children under the age of 10. The incident took place when terrorist militias launched a shell on Liti areas in Benghazi. A military source in the city stressed that no one claimed responsibility for the incident. The Arab Libyan Armed Forces engaged in a fierce war to cleanse the city of Benghazi from terrorist groups. And still in Libya, Central Bank of Libya began delivery of the third quarter of money assigned for students studying abroad and implementation of permissions. Director of the Information Office of the Central Bank of Libya, Isam Al-Aoul, says that some notes reached unclear, adding that he has to address the Treasury management for adjustment. The bank will also initiate its implementation on the same day in accordance with the legislation. And to the Palestinian crisis, UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon urged Palestinians and Israel today to step back from a dangerous peace as he arrived on a snap visit to the region at the head of the international efforts to quell 3 weeks of violence. The bloodshed began with a string of stabbing attacks on Israel in Jerusalem. One reason given by Palestinians for the surge in violence is anger over perceived Jewish encroachment on Jerusalem Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, Islam's third holiest shrine, and also revered by Jews at the site of 2 ancient Jewish temples. Speaking moments after arriving, Ban said the waves of unrest was undermining Palestinian hopes for statehood and Israel's longing for security. This conflict has gone on for far too long, he said. We must, for the future of our children, come back from this dangerous abyss, safeguard the two-state solutions, and lead people back into the road towards peace. Ban, whose trip was announced only hours before his arrival, was due to meet Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu later in the day in Jerusalem. He will see Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas in the West Bank, in the West City of Ramallah tomorrow, Palestinian officials said. Turkey is ready to accept a political transition in Syria in which President Bashar al-Assad stays in symbolic power for 6 months before leaving office, and is discussing the plan with Western allies to senior government officials today. NATO member Turkey has long been one of the Assad's fierce critics, insisting that no lasting peace can be achieved in Syria without his removal from power. The United States will put the proposals to Russia, one of the Turkish officials said, but it was not clear whether Moscow would entertain the idea. 3 weeks ago, Russia launched airstrikes in support of Assad against insurgents fighting him. European nations have struggled to find a common position in the role of Assad that should play in the solutions of the Syrian crisis. France is keen to see Assad go as soon as possible, while Germany would prefer to have him involved in the transitional phase before he quits. Britain wanted Assad to leave power at some point as part of an idea by world powers to end the 4-year-old conflict. Foreign Secretary Philip Hammond said today. For his part, Assad said in an interview with Iranian television aired on October 4 that it was not up to any foreign officials to decide Syria's future, including in a transitional period, noted. Slovenia said today it would ask the European Union to send additional police forces to its border with Croatia to help it deal with thousands of migrants streaming into the tiny country on their way of Austria and beyond. About 19,000 migrants have entered Slovenia since Friday, the interim ministry said, when Hungary sealed its southern border, creating bottlenecks at Balkan border crossing as migrants attempted to find new routes through the region. We need fast assistance of the European Union, President Paho told the news conference in Brussels after meeting European Council President Donald Tusk and EU Chief Executive Jean-Claude Juncker. In the last 2 days, the former Yugoslav Republic has deployed 140 soldiers to the border to assist the police. Inter Secretary of State Bostas Civic told reporters Parliament is due to vote on a bill that would give the army more power in guarding the border. My audience, that is the wrap-up of our top stories for today. For much more, you can check our website www.watanalkarama.tv. Thanks very much for being with us. My greeting, Rانيا البليدى.